Valley's leading news program with Ducis Rodgers, meteorologist Cecily Tynan, and Brian Taff.
Good evening. It's Thursday night. One man is in custody following a series of chaotic car meetups across the city. And a Montgomery County woman is followed home after a trip to the casino. Ahead, the new video of how that terrifying encounter came to an end. But the big story on Action News tonight is the massive, powerful, and destructive hurricane set to make landfall just hours from now along Florida's Big Bend. And the effects being felt right here at home tonight. Hurricane Helene is a very strong Category 3 right now and could intensify to a Category 4 by the time it hits the coast. Governors of several southern states have declared states of emergency, wind and flood warning extending far beyond Florida. Now, the gravest threat posed by this hurricane is the predicted storm surge up to 20 feet in northwestern parts of Florida, a phenomenon forecasters are calling unsurvivable. Among many other things, the storm is impacting travel clear across America tonight, including at PHL, just as Eagles fans try to get to Tampa for Sunday's game against the Bucs. Action News reporter Charles Watson live there at the airport tonight. Charles, what's the situation right now?
Well, Brian, as we speak, there are several dozen delays and cancellations in terms of flights heading into and out of Philadelphia International Airport. For the most part, folks do seem to be making it to their destinations successfully. But with that said, there are plenty of hurdles to overcome, certainly for folks who are trying to make it to the Florida Gulf Coast, where Hurricane Helene is expected to make landfall.
I think everything will be fine.
Despite a major hurricane barreling toward Florida and the Gulf Coast, Bob Cavanaugh says he and dozens of other Eagles fans are still headed to the Sunshine State to watch the Birds take on the Tampa Bay Bucs on Sunday.
Most of our fans are still excited to go.
Cavanaugh, who's part owner of Philly Sports Trips, says he and more than 100 other Eagles fans were supposed to fly into Tampa this morning, but the threat of Hurricane Helene forced them to change course quickly after he learned the airport and their hotel would close.
We found out around 4 o'clock yesterday that the Tampa International was going to be shut down, and we diverted most of our group to Orlando. And we're going to bus over to Clearwater Beach tomorrow morning.
He tells Action News at least 10 people canceled the trip in its entirety this morning in an effort to avoid any parts of Hurricane Helene. And for good cause. The powerful storm has forced more than 1,200 flight cancellations at airports across the country, including about 30 here at Philadelphia International Airport.
Even if it's okay here, somewhere else, flights can't get out to other places to get here. It could then impact your flight.
We were fortunate to get out of there when we did.
With remnants of the storm reaching up into Georgia and the Carolinas, folks like Andrew Cole and his wife, who are visiting the city for the weekend, says they're fortunate their flight from Charlotte even made it off the ground.
There was some bad weather when we landed there.
It was raining pretty hard, and there was a tornado warning in the area, but they were still trying to get things moving.
Yeah, so in addition to Florida airports, hubs like Atlanta are also feeling the effects. Officials here at PHL says this airport could also be dealing with delays and cancellations for at least the next couple of days. So you want to make sure you check in with your airline before you head out. For now, we're live at Philadelphia International Airport. Charles Watson, Channel 6, Action News. Brian.
Yeah, there will undoubtedly be a ripple effect for the days to come. Charles, thank you. We, of course, will continue tracking Hurricane Helene as it approaches landfall sometime around midnight. Coming up in just a few minutes, meteorologist Cecily Tynan will join us with an update on the track, the intensification, and the timing. Well, prosecutors announced charges today against one suspect in connection with a series of chaotic car meetups across Philadelphia last weekend. This was the reckless scene in one of at least 11 of these illegal gatherings that caused extensive damage and left one police officer hospitalized. Tonight, police are asking for the public's help to make even more arrests. Action News' John Paul joining us live in Spring Garden tonight. John, they released a lot of new video today.
Yeah, they did, Brian. They put out video. They put out pictures of people that were involved in all of this. So those car meetups, they took place Saturday night rather, into Sunday morning. And it was just chaos all across the city. I'm standing at one of the intersections where some burnouts were done. This is Pennsylvania Avenue in Spring Garden, and where 23rd Street comes in. You can still see the rubber marks all over this intersection. One of the neighbors just came down and told me that they used a flamethrower to make a flame circle in the middle of it and drive around it. This is the stuff police are trying to crack down on, and today they're saying they're making significant progress in finding the people responsible. Chaos erupted across Philadelphia this past weekend as a series of illegal car meetups turned violent, injuring an officer and damaging at least 5 police vehicles.
We are not intimidated by your cool cars and your screeching tires.
Today, in a joint news conference at the district attorney's office, investigators made it clear they'll track down everyone involved. Police revealed they arrested 25-year-old Deontay Vincent, who's accused of speeding his Dodge Charger toward 2 officers, nearly hitting them before hitting another car and driving off.
The officers were able to identify the license plate number, and they were able to identify the person who was driving as Mr. Vincent.
He now faces a long list of charges, including aggravated assault, part of the chaos that was captured on video and posted to social media. It marks the second arrest from that night, and today investigators released more video in an attempt to identify the people involved. Some, they believe, came from other states.
People have driven long and far to be involved in this, and we're going to go get them. We have a lot of these people on video. You're going to see some of them here. We've already identified some of them, and we have about 38 cars that we've identified.
So far, 5 cars have been recovered, and there are active warrants for 21 others, despite the fact many tried to hide their identities.
Look, masks, fake license plates, things like that you think are going to trick law enforcement and trick us are not going to work.
Now, we also learned, Brian, that 25 citations were handed out the night this all happened, and police say they could actually upgrade the charges against the people involved who got those 25 citations. And the news conference today, they made it clear that they wanted to show a united front, that city officials are working with police to ensure they catch everyone and to make sure this doesn't happen again. Live tonight in Spring Garden, John Paul, Channel 6 Action News. Brian?
Yeah, and the louder the car, by the way, the easier they are to find. John, thank you. A Montgomery County father has been charged after his 2-year-old son shot himself with a gun. Montgomery County DA Kevin Steele announced the arrest of 34-year-old Luis Marin today. Investigators say Marin left the gun on the bed of his home in Pottstown back in May when his toddler got a hold of it. The 2-year-old sustained several injuries. Marin now facing a number of charges. This is newly released police body cam video showing the end of a frightening ordeal for a woman and her son in Abington. This was the moment officers took Kabir Shepard into custody after police say he followed the woman home from a casino, broke into her house, and tried to take her cash. As he did that, police say the victim's son shot Kabir as he tried to defend his mother. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson live at Abington Police tonight. Sharifa, this was a really scary situation.
Yeah, very scary situation, Brian. We spoke to the police chief here in Abington earlier today. He says that victim's son was very brave and he likely saved his mother's life.
This is an extraordinary case.
What you're seeing in this Abington police body cam video.
Everybody put your hands up. Let me see your hands.
Are 2 officers.
Where's the guy at?
Responding to a violent home invasion turned shooting on the 1800 block of Horace Avenue. Police say this happened Monday around 1 a.m. when this man, 26-year-old Kabir Shepard, followed a woman home from a casino. He then forced his way inside her home with a gun, pushed her to the ground, and grabbed her purse. Investigators say at that point, all the victim could do was scream.
The homeowner's son had the presence of mind to wake up, somehow be able to retrieve his legally owned gun and take action by shooting the suspect in the arm and the back.
Police responded quickly and were able to take Shepard into custody, while neighbors like Philip Diamore made their way outside.
The gunshot woke us up and woke my daughter up too. She's only 9.
Philip says the street was lined with officers. He watched as they wheeled the suspect away.
I'm glad the people around here are ready to protect their neighborhood, and if they see something bad happen, they're ready to get on it.
Abington Police Chief Patrick Malloy says this case highlights the need for everyone to always be aware of your surroundings.
Officer, I'm dying. Please help.
But he says what the victim's son did was truly heroic.
This ended well for the good guys, and we have a guy who was a convicted felon who should not have possessed a firearm, who is now off the street.
And the suspect, he is okay. He was taken to the hospital where he was treated. He's currently at the Montgomery County Correctional Facility facing a number of charges, including robbery and aggravated assault. He was arraigned and he's being held on a $250,000 cash bail. We're live from Abington Police. Sharifa Jackson, Channel 6 Action News. Brian.
Okay, Sharifa, thank you. The Pennsylvania Department of Corrections looking to hire some officer trainees and some other positions as well. The department hosted a job fair today in hopes of filling openings at SCI Chester. The Corrections Department was given permission to waive the Pennsylvania residency requirement for officers, which means those living in neighboring states can apply for jobs at Pennsylvania state prisons. Well, Pennsylvania House Speaker Joanna McClinton, other elected leaders and education officials were at Penwood High School in Lansdowne today to celebrate a boost in education funding in this year's state budget. Nearly a year ago, some of these very same officials were at this very same school calling for equitable funding for public schools. Well, they got their wish. The 2024-25 state budget includes a $1.1 billion increase in K-12 public education funding. Philadelphia's first poet laureate, the renowned Sonia Sanchez, took part in a conversation today at Temple University. Sanchez, who is 90 years old now, is the author of 20 books and the recipient of numerous national awards. She's also a noted civil rights activist, the very first presidential fellow at Temple, and was a professor at that university, a beloved figure right there. Still ahead here on Action News tonight, 13 treasured residents who reached a milestone, now part of a special club in South Jersey, ahead the celebration in their honor. Cecily.
Well, Brian, cloudy, humid with some scattered showers. Get used to it. We're stuck in this pattern for a while. I'll have details and the latest on Hurricane Helene in the AccuWeather 7-day forecast.
All that and a note about where we are tonight when Action News continues right here on a Thursday night.
My sister Rachel Morin loved to run. She loved to laugh, but most important, loved her 5 children. August 5th, 2023, she met a monster, a criminal, illegal immigrant that raped and murdered her. He was already deported once before. Kamala Harris was supposed to get the border secure. Kamala and the Democrats' policies allowed the killer back in. I lost my sister. There's no reason why these kids should not have a mother. It just breaks my heart. The last thing that we need is more of Kamala Harris.
Right for America is responsible for the content of this ad.
It was a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Then along came Dave McCormick. When McCormick ran the world's largest hedge fund, he badly mismanaged the retirement funds of Pennsylvania's teachers. Teachers lost money from their paychecks, and homeowners were forced to pay higher property taxes. But McCormick's firm walked away with $500 million in excess fees. Dave McCormick, he got rich, we got robbed.
I'm Bob Casey, and I approve this message.
On immigration, whose side is Susan Wild on?
I just voted no on the border bill.
Wild's open border policies have illegal immigrants pouring into Pennsylvania. Wild is so extreme, she even voted for billions in taxpayer handouts for illegal immigrants. Free education, housing, healthcare, perks you don't get. Liberal Susan Wild.
I just voted no on the border bill.
She's not on your side. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
We're bringing bright hope to Delaware by creating opportunity. As Secretary of Labor, I focused on preparing the workforce of tomorrow. And in Congress, I've worked to strengthen career and technical education. Jobs that might not require a 4-year college degree, but do require skills. With jobs like these. Together, we can build the workforce of today and tomorrow. I'm Lisa Blunt Rochester, and I approve this message because our opportunities should be limitless.
NJM, no jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Well, every significant world event in the last 100 years, they've lived to see it. At a retirement community in Voorhees, New Jersey, a group of much-loved and long-lived centenarians is still finding ways to be active. And now they've joined the ranks of an esteemed club. Action News community journalist Matteo ladonisi has the story tonight.
The first century is good, but the second century is better.
Okay, that's good advice.
My name is Don Flitzer. I'm 105. Good years, ever since 1919. My principal hobby is writing over the years. This one, Martha and I. Martha was my wife. She was down the road a ways with the Alzheimer's, and we knew we had to find a place like this.
Lionsgate is a continuum care retirement community. We're in Voorhees, New Jersey. Today we're celebrating 13 centenarians, all living here at Lionsgate. We're having a luncheon, and the mayor of Voorhees is coming with proclamations.
You are the treasures of our community, and I hope I say this right, l'chaim.
By the end of today, all of our centenarians will be members of our 100 Club.
I turned 100. You're 105 plus.
You've got plenty ahead of you.
Yeah. I practiced podiatry for 38 years in my hometown, Lebanon, Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's good, right next door. Never gave it much thought, but I'm very grateful to have reached this point. I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time with my children and grandchildren. You'll be around, we'll get together again.
Amen, I hope so. Good to see you.
Good to see you, Don.
Wow, may we all age so gracefully as them. Well, a Montgomery County high school student was presented with a full ride scholarship today to Gwynedd Mercy University. A ceremony was held here at Wissahickon High School to celebrate the recipient, who's a senior. The student will be an early education major at the university before returning to teach at the Wissahickon School District. The Wissahickon and Gwynedd Mercy University Opportunity Scholarship is designed to meet the need for more qualified teachers in that school district.
You may be wondering, what's the difference between Bob Casey and me on abortion? We both believe in exceptions for rape, incest, and to save the life of the mother. We differ on the third trimester. I support Pennsylvania's limits on elective abortion in the last months of pregnancy. That seems reasonable. Bob Casey supports late-term abortion and tax dollars to pay for them. Senator Casey has the more extreme position. I'm more middle of the road and looking for common ground. I'm Dave McCormick. I approve this message.
Pennsylvania has two choices for Attorney General. Dave Sunday, endorsed by our law enforcement. Eugene DePasquale, endorsed by Defund the police groups. Dave Sunday is an experienced district attorney who prosecuted criminals and gang members and reduced gun violence. DePasquale never prosecuted a case in his life and has sided with radical Philadelphia progressives. Sunday protected seniors from fraud. DePasquale ignored fraud by campaign donors. The choice is clear. Dave Sunday for Attorney General.
Safety on our streets and justice in our courtrooms are under attack because of Kamala Harris's dangerous liberal values. She's tried to hide it, but Kamala helped fund a group that released assaulters, murderers, even a registered sex offender charged with terrorizing, threatening, and raping an 8-year-old girl.
My values have not changed.
Kamala Harris, still dangerously liberal, still dangerous for America. Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I was proud to serve our country for 21 years. I'm retired now, a widower on a fixed income. My grocery bill has almost doubled. My electric bill is $400 a month. I blame Bob Casey. He's costing us thousands more per year. And Casey supports higher taxes on Social Security benefits. But I worry most about my grandkids. Will they ever get ahead? We can't afford Bob Casey anymore. Keystone Renewal PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
As we noted at the start of the newscast tonight, Eagles on the road in Tampa this weekend. So we check in with sports director Ducis Rodgers. Week 4, they got quite a few things to button up here.
Yeah, the Eagles offense, Brian, it's still a work in progress, and there's a very good chance it will not be at full strength for Sunday's game in Tampa. Lane Johnson, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith all missed their second straight day of workouts. Jalen Hurts will still have his tight end Dallas Goedert as a target, but he'll probably see some new faces spread out wide. Will it be rookie Johnny Wilson or Paris Campbell that steps up at wide receiver? Both say they'll be ready if their name is called.
You never know when your number's going to get called, so you don't ever want to be in this position and kind of be in panic mode. So from week 1, I've always been, preparing the same way as if I was in the game. So now that that moment is actually here, it's not any panic, and it's just what I'm used to.
I feel like I'm more than ready. I feel like all the guys are more than ready. We train for stuff like this to happen, where you got to be prepared when your number's called.
A lot of these guys can be some starters somewhere else, but they just on a team with some of the best in the world. So it's a great chance for a great opportunity, man, to go out here and capitalize on that and go out here and make a strong performance.
The NFL has fined Saints defensive tackle Christian Boyd $4,600 for that vicious hit on Devontae. Boyd was not flagged on the play. The Eagles were very vocal afterward that they felt that was a dirty hit. Baseball now. The Phillies have the night off. They'll still be doing some scoreboard watching. The Phils trail the Dodgers by a half a game for the best record in all of baseball. That would ensure home field advantage throughout the postseason. Either way, the Phils are ready for Red October.
There's nothing like it. You know, it's this is why each and every one of us, staff, everyone in the training room, players, everybody, this is why we show up. And you know, October baseball gets a little chilly and gets a little louder, and it's this is stuff that we dream about, so we're excited.
The Flyers will be back on the ice tonight. They're set to host the Islanders in the third of their 7 exhibition games. The crowd will get to see its first look at Matvei Mishkov on home ice. It's only been a couple weeks of camp, but he's already drawing rave reviews. The preseason games are also mean something to the veterans. Travis Konechny plans to go all out tonight.
I'm still going in tonight looking to see what I got, and obviously there's going to be some rest there, but I'm still treating it like you don't know with the staff what their plan is, how many games you're going to get, so you take every opportunity to make sure you're preparing yourself.
Temple football will get the national spotlight tonight. The Owls will take on unbeaten Army at the Link. Army ranks second in the nation in rushing yards per game, 356.
It's still a triple option. It is hard to defend, and especially on a short week, and it's not like, people say, well, you just played Navy, you should be good to go. They're similar in triple option, but they're different in throw game. They really are, and the Jimmies and the Joes are different. The quarterback's the real deal.
It'll be a tough task tonight for Temple, but we shall see. Stranger things have happened.
You got it, Ducis. Thank you. Cecily Tynan is standing by with that AccuWeather forecast, the latest on Hurricane Helene, when we come right back.
This is where tradition and innovation converge for the perfect car buying experience. Welcome to Ciocca Cadillac, your home for America's most iconic automotive brand. Starting with the luxurious XT5, now only $399 a month. Save $13,000 on the 2024 Escalade, or place your order for the 2025 Escalade and Escalade IQ at the family dealership that treats you like family. Right here in the heart of Atlantic City. Ciocca Cadillac, online and on Albany Avenue.
Coming up tonight, we have breaking news. This major hurricane set to hit the U.S. a short time from now. Ginger Z is live in the storm zone. In New York City tonight, the mayor indicted on federal charges. What he's accused of, what we've learned. And tonight, what authorities are saying about COVID in the U.S. and the free test kits. Next.
He told us who he was.
Should abortion be punished? There has to be some form of punishment.
Then he showed us.
For 54 years, they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it. And I'm proud to have done it.
Now Donald Trump wants to go further with plans to restrict birth control, ban abortion nationwide, even monitor women's pregnancies. We know who Donald Trump is. He'll take control. We'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.
An illegal immigrant was arrested for domestic assault. Instead of deporting him, Philadelphia let him go because of the sanctuary city policy Bob Casey voted for. After Casey's radical policy released the criminal, he then repeatedly raped a 5-year-old girl. It could have been prevented. She was raped because of the sanctuary city policies that are backed by Bob Casey. We've had enough. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
A woman is brutally raped. She becomes pregnant. The government tells her she has no choice. She must have the child. That's the America that Dave McCormick and extremists in Washington want us to live in. McCormick and his extremist allies want to ban abortion, even in cases of rape or incest. The extremists celebrated the Supreme Court overturning Roe. McCormick said it made him very, very happy. If Dave McCormick and the extremists win, the women of Pennsylvania lose.
I'm Bob Casey, and I approve this message.
A local nonprofit is making sure that Philadelphia residents are ready for fall. The Wardrobe hosted Open Wardrobe in the city's Old City section for parents and caregivers today. Racks were stacked with a variety of clothing and accessory, all of it free of charge. The organization also hosted similar events today in Upper Darby, Kennett Square, and their Exton locations. I want to check in now with meteorologist Cecily Tynan. We're just getting an update like as we speak.
Yes.
This is a really dire situation with this hurricane.
It really is. The hurricane hunters just came back with a report that Hurricane Helene is now an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane. Maximum sustained winds are now up to 130 miles an hour. So not only is this extremely strong, it's also huge. It extends about 500 miles across. This is going to be the worst hurricane on record to hit the Tallahassee area. So this could be really devastating. The latest track does have it coming in as a Category 4 hurricane late tonight, probably around midnight or so, right around the Big Bend area. And this is pretty remarkable as well. Early in the morning into Georgia, not coastal Georgia, inland Georgia, it'll still be a Category 2 hurricane with maximum sustained winds 105 miles per hour. It moves to the north and then it starts to make a turn to the northwest over the Tennessee Valley, so it's going to cause a lot of destruction in its wake. First of all, we've got the winds. Later on tonight, those winds about 120 miles an hour, Cedar Key. The forward motion along with the winds will be pushing water ashore, so we're looking at a 15 to 20-foot storm surge. So put that in perspective. That's above a 2-story building. On top of that, the inland flooding is going to be historic. The potential for up to 20 inches of rain up through the mountains of Georgia and the Carolinas. So this will cause widespread flooding and likely some landslides as well. Back at home, it's warm and humid, 79 degrees in Philadelphia, currently down from a high of 81. Allentown 73, Wilmington 75, and Seattle City 73 degrees. Satellite and radar showing lots of clouds. The warm front that pushed through, that's bringing some showers up across New England. We do have a few spotty, isolated downpours right now, and that rain that you see working through the Carolinas and Virginia, those are the outer rain bands from Helene, and we'll have to deal with some of those as we head through tomorrow night. Tomorrow is going to be another warm day, but not quite as warm as today, with a high of 77 degrees, very humid with a few scattered showers. Future trackers showing we'll likely have some light activity in the morning, especially south of Philadelphia. I do think the heaviest rain will be late Friday night into the wee hours of the morning. On Saturday, some heavy downpours possible across South Jersey. And again, that's related to Helene. So breaking it down, tomorrow, it's cloudy, it's humid, some scattered showers. The steadiest rain will be Friday night. And then the weekend, I want to stress, it's not a washout. I would not cancel any outdoor plans, but we will have a few spotty showers, mainly dry though, but plenty of low clouds. So the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast for your Friday, it's cloudy with some scattered showers, steadier rain on Friday night, 77 degrees for the high Saturday, a few early morning showers, and it's cloudy, 77 degrees on Sunday. It's quite a bit cooler. Isolated shower possible, mostly cloudy, 70 degrees. We keep the clouds on Monday, mostly cloudy with a high of 72. Tuesday, we likely have some periods of rain, 70 degrees. Wednesday, clouds limiting sunshine with a high of 72 degrees. And then Thursday, finally, we'll see some sun with a high of 73 degrees. So, Brian, it's going to take a full week for us to see some sunshine. But I've been saying all along, we need the rain. We're going to be getting it. And, of course, I will have an update on Helene on Action News at 11.
We need the rain. We'll be happy to see the sunshine by the end of this.
That will be nice.
Hey, perhaps you've noticed, we hope you did, we got some new wallpaper around here, and quite a bit more. We're very excited and very proud to be coming to you tonight for the very first time from our brand new state-of-the-art studio. Check it out. This cutting-edge and beautiful set's been in the works for more than a year now. A detailed and passionate process to make sure we continue bringing you the very best in broadcasting. This space is bigger, it's better, it's bolder. It gives us so many more tools to help out with the stories we tell here each and every night. And of course, importantly, to help you move closer to your world. That's our whole job. There's a lot to show you. We'll be doing that over the next days and weeks. We can't wait to do it. We hope you love this place as much as we do. World News Tonight with David Muir next on 6ABC. For the entire Action News team, I'm Brian Taff. We'll see you right back here in our new home tomorrow night.
Action News is sponsored by by Thomas Jefferson University. Over the past 200 years, we've created a legacy of excellence in professions-focused higher education. Learn more at an open house. Register at jefferson.edu/fall open house.
She worked her way up.
I had a summer job at McDonald's.
He was born there.
I'm very rich.
She fights for you.
When our middle class is strong, America is strong.
He doesn't.
Well, you're rich as hell. We're going to give you tax cut?
She has a reason for running.
We are helping dig families out of debt by telling billionaires to pay their fair share.
And so does he.
They want to put me in jail.
Kamala Harris, for you. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Their Bidenomics led to the highest inflation in 40 years. Highest gas prices ever. Skyrocketing interest rates. Unaffordable housing. Incomes down. Unemployment rising. And a recession now headed our way. Yet Kamala Harris is clueless.
We are very proud of Bidenomics. Bidenomics is working.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
I've never been more worried. Everywhere you look, states are banning abortion, and now there's talk of a national abortion ban. Dave McCormick called himself staunchly pro-life and said he's fully against abortion without any exceptions for tragedies like rape or incest. And if he gets his way, my patients could lose the freedom to make their own medical decisions. We can't let that happen. We have to stop Dave McCormick. Wynn Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
As an OB, I've talked privately to women about their most sensitive medical choices, sometimes life and death decisions. Ryan McKenzie has voted repeatedly with far-right politicians for an extreme ban on abortions, putting women's lives at risk. Extremists and their total bans on abortion and IVF would criminalize doctors like me.
I'm Susan Wild, and I approve this message. I'll take on Ryan McKenzie and extreme right politicians to guarantee our freedoms.